Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. Sorry for being gone for a couple days. I just had some stuff that I had to take care of. It was nothing bad. Just life sometimes gets in the way. Had a few little things that I needed to take care of, but we are back on Minecraft. And as you can see, I am in the city right now because I actually really want to work on this today. So this is going to be our first time working on the city, I think, on my channel. This was a project I started maybe about a year or so ago now. And just kind of dabbled with some different buildings here and there, as you can see. But what I wanted to do today, as we head back over to this spot, is I want to finish this sightline right here. So if you can't tell, let's see if I can get up a little higher. We'll go on top of the lab here. If you can't tell, this is kind of based off of a European city. That's what I was pretty much going for here. So I used Google Maps and I walked around like Copenhagen, Zurich, a whole bunch of different places like Stockholm and in Finland as well, all those Scandinavian countries. And I was looking at what their cities look like. And a lot of them have this kind of square structure with the flat roofs on top. And so that's what this was supposed to be. And so basically what I'm thinking is I'm going to do that for every one of these buildings here. This is going to be our retaining wall to keep this hill behind. And I don't know if I'm going to put anything here yet. I might put something there in the future. But as for right here, this is kind of going to be like the main business slash shopping district street. So a lot of the villagers are going to be placed throughout here and in these buildings. And obviously this andesite is our road. And so I kind of plan on lining this whole area up with a lot of these wall type buildings over in here. This area, which is going to be more towards the port, because you can see the water is actually over here. This is where all of the skyscrapers are going to be. So what you'll have is the view from the water. There will be skyscrapers lining this whole area up in here. And lastly, the lab will be tucked behind in there. So that's on our agenda for today. How's our frogs doing in here? Let's see. I know the other two grew up, so we'll have to get names for those. But I believe it was Green Stack, which is this guy right here. That one's easy to remember, but I don't remember what the other one was. Groovy. All right. Well, it looks like they're doing okay. They're liking their little habitat in here, so that's always a good sign. The first thing I wanted to do over here was finish this white building. Now, one thing I'm really not set on is the width of this road. I think this road is, it needs to be spaced differently here. So what I'm going to do is actually tear out this whole section. I think it doesn't need to be this wide. I think what I'm trying to explain is you can see we have the gutter right here. I think the gutter just needs to be out one block, and I'll show you why in a second. And that's because we're going to add detail to the wall of these buildings. And so I don't want the detail of the walls overhanging the road. I definitely want to use spruce doors. I'm wondering, actually, now that I think about it, could we use buttons to be, what kind of, yeah, I think that's much better. So we'll use the buttons to break up that kind of block right there, because I've been referencing the images on Google Maps, and a lot of these Scandinavian buildings have lots and lots of detail in the walls, like very a heavy amount of detail. So I think using these buttons is going to kind of simulate that in some way, shape, or form. But the best part about it is that it just kind of breaks up that flat texture, right? Because there's a lot of the same block here. So I'm just making sure I'm not going to get blown up. What? I'm so confused. It just keeps going forever. Hello? Okay, well, that's definitely a 1.20.5 glitch. So they need to fix that. That is so, I'm so confused. You guys get what I'm saying. I think that's going to be the best looking design for this building because so if you go on Google Street View, right, and just say you click on like Copenhagen or something, or a lot of the reference I've been using is from Zurich, Switzerland. So if you go and look at that, you'll see that a lot of those buildings, although they have a lot of design, they're also pretty simple, right? They're kind of just like flat walls. So we don't need to go like over the top with the detail or anything like that. It just needs to be enough to where it's breaking up that white texture. But let's definitely put a door in here. I think that would be very helpful. All right, I'd say that's pretty good. I do think I want the stairs up there though, now that I think about it. That would make everything nice and symmetrical. It would line up very nicely. So I think I'm gonna get them up there. Now that I think about it, like I said, I'm gonna do the stairs over here. I just think it looks more symmetrical. What happened there to that block? That would be cool if you were able to like break blocks and like put honey on them and then they would stay in that fashion. You could make some really cool designs with that. So I'm going to put that like this, and I'm just going to go all the way around here and place those guys because that's about what I was thinking. So we can get rid of all this stuff now. We don't need it anymore. All right, so now we finished that side of the building. I'd say that's pretty much what I was going for, but I think we could add some more lighting. So I'm just going to take a look at the images or the Google Street View just for a little bit because I just want to see how the lighting is on the actual buildings, and then we'll continue working. All right, so I think we're going to do this building over here now, and I think I'm going to use more black to do the outline, but then I'm going to use spruce to finish it up top. So I don't know if I actually have any like excessive deep slate or anything. All right, so we are going to go up here like this. And remember, we don't actually have to do that much designing on the side here. And so we only need to do the part that is exposed. So that's only going to be one block. So what I was thinking, though, is we do something like this. And then this will like line the top layer of this building. So we'll have the dark contrast. And then I think I'm going to use spruce wood as the roof like I did over there. So it won't look like this building. It's going to look a little different. And now we have this sandstone. So what I can do is we're going to place, I need to look here actually where the windows are. So this first window is right there. So I think what we'll do is we'll have spruce wood. What is that? What the? Oh, that scared the crap out of me. Where did you just come from? What the heck? What? I'm so confused. I actually have chills. That's how much that scared me. Where did that just come from? What? That was terrifying. It's not even nighttime. Where could that possibly have come from? I don't even understand. Okay, now that we have that little zombie ordeal over with, what I was thinking was, now I have my spruce wood, so I can finally do this. I was planning having it be like this, and then what I think I'm going to do is I need to check where the windows are. So our corner is right here, which would be 1 in, so on this block. And then we have 1, 2, and 3. So the windows are on 1 and 3. And so that would put the window there and the window there. And so what I'm going to do is actually go in 1, place a block right here like this, and do that. And this is going to be kind of our, like, you can see I did the same thing right here. Most of these city buildings have some sort of a peak on their roof. They have, like, a lot of these. And so I'm just going to add this to kind of break up that texture, right? Because it's a lot of the same texture. Because I was planning on having this building like turn in like this anyways. So that's definitely the way to go there. Because that's 2, right? And then, ooh, that's only, no, that's 2. Okay, so that'll work perfectly fine for us. Because this guy is going to bend in like so. And then we just have to place some temporary blocks so we can get up in the air more. We already got one on this side, so I don't think I'm going to have them go that high, to be honest with you. I think I'm just going to keep them at like this level. And so we'll just do something like this. Kind of like make this U shape over and over again here. Oh, whoops. Didn't mean to put that there. All right, so we're just doing that U shape on top, and then this one is going to go in like this here. And that'll just, I don't think it's going to wrap all the way around, but we'll go right, as you can see, I've marked it out there. That's where like the back alley is going to be. So we'll just line everything with stone right there and build it all the way up. So I think I have decided, right, instead of using the same glass blocks over and over and over again, I think I'm actually going to use gray this time for this one. I think that would be really nice, because that would contrast very well to this. So I'm going to add gray stained glass to this one. And so I'll have to figure out how to get more of this stuff. Yeah, I think I like that a lot more. So we'll need to figure out something to put in there. I feel like it really needs that. And maybe we could do some buttons of some sort, but I'm going to go up there. I'm just going to repeat the same thing for those two right there, and we'll leave the top row open. And you can't really see it from down here, but we did do the thing on the top with the roof, but it's so high up there, you can't even tell. So again, I only want them to be right here, right? I don't want to place them everywhere because it'll get a little chaotic if we do that. So, just gonna connect these, and what I was thinking was just having these guys just like this. If we just use stone, that's gonna be a lot of stone buttons on that wall. So I think what I'm gonna do is use the birch. Actually, I think that's the best. If this building was on its own, I would have used the stone, but because this building is lined with a whole bunch of other buildings, and all of those other buildings use stone buttons, I think the birch is the best solution for us because it's just not that in your face. It's more subtle. So we'll just make a ton of birch buttons here. And I'm going to place them every 3 like this. Okay, so now what we can do is get up there and build our little flower pot. We're going to need some more scaffolding in order to complete that. So we need to be somewhere at around that level. And so we're going to use 3 blocks for our first one. So this is what I was talking about here of doing it on this block. So, oh no, I just realized this will not work if we do it on that one. So we're going to have to go down one, and I'll show you why in a second. And so what I'm going to do here is I'm only going to line the bottom of this with trapdoors because we're going to use the spruce trapdoors to be our like whatever what would you call that, the support? I think that's the word I'm looking for, the support for the flower pot. But the reason we can't use it on this block is because our flowers are too tall, right? So we need to send it down one. And so I think I did not realize this was 3, so I think what I'm going to do is something like this, and then put some grass in the middle there. And so hopefully that doesn't look too weird or anything. I think it looks completely fine, actually. Yeah, that's totally normal. And so then we'll just add another one right over there. And now we have some lovely little flower pots for the outside of the building. I think that just makes it, you know, it kind of just breaks up that really harsh pattern we had going on there. Most shops or something of that nature will have like a tent or something right here. And so I think this is going to match this color palette really nicely. And so I'm thinking that this shop, whatever it is, has like a red tent or something right there that's hanging out. So that's going to be what that is. I think that looks really nice, actually. So let's go ahead and make some more of those. All right, so now we have something looking like that. And I just got to think here. What else could this need? I just want to experiment with this being all the way across like that. Is that a little too much to ask for? Again, you have to think about what is the visual that you're going to have most of the time, right? Which is going to be this. We're not really going to be looking at it from head on ever. So I think that's a pretty decent looking visual, but I would like for this to be not all the same color. So I'm thinking of like, what if we like rounded it off somehow like that? Is that a little too much? All right, so now we have something that looks like that. I think that's really nice, but all right, and so to make it look like the, oh no, I just realized those are gonna connect, aren't they? All right, so I think we're gonna repurpose this andesite, and I'm just gonna try it from here on, but I'm gonna replace the andesite road with a cobbled deep slate road because I think the darker texture is just going to suit the city better. I don't really like this light road that it has. I would rather use this for back at the fantasy section of our base. So I think this is a much better roadblock than the actual andesite stuff. So I'm going to use this as like our test road for now, to just see if I like it with the visual of the other stuff. So that really didn't get me very far, did it? Because what I'm thinking, right, is that we just have like this sort of thing going on in here. And then the andesite slabs that we got are going to go in here like the actual sidewalk. So now we have what I think is a much better looking road than whatever we constructed before. So we'll do this on both sides so we can get a proper visual. Now we have that. That looks much more like a road, which I think is going to suit this a lot better. So we'll have to do a lot of deep slate mining. But the next thing I want to do is I definitely want to finish this building right here. And then I would also like to get that glass sorted out up there. And I don't think we're going to be doing any interiors today, right? Now that I think about it, I'm going to use the polished andesite for the windows and the floor here. And so this will go like so, right to here. And I have to figure out what I'm going to do for the door here, because nothing is going to connect there, is it? I think if we do something, okay, it's a little weird, but if we do something like this, then we can place the door on this block. I don't know what door we're going to use yet, but we could place it in on that block, and that kind of makes it look like the glass. I think that could work. We just need to find a door. All right, and I chose dark oak for this door because I think it just suits this the best. So if we actually go inward like that, and we'll just extend the roof there, I think that's the best way to do that. It kind of looks like a shop door, right? Something that bends in like that. And we can do this here. All right, so let me explain to you what I was picturing here. And so we have this black stained glass. And so this building is actually originally based off of a building I saw in New York City. And so that is the whole design behind this. It's kind of like a modern, I would say it's like a modern business, modern clothing store style building. And so what I was thinking, right, is why I had that little brain moment there, is if we take the glass panes and do something like this here, what that's going to do is it creates that line in the window. You can see that line right there. And I think that makes a really nice like window kind of pattern, window design. So I want to do that all the way across here because I think that's going to look the best for this building. All right, and so now on the inside, we have something that looks like that, right? It's a little weird looking, but from the outside, I think this is going to look really cool. It's going to have a super nice design to it. So you can see what it's done there is it's kind of made that like cross pattern on the outside. And what we could do though is we do need to add a little bit more detail to this build. And I think I'm going to go up, I haven't quite decided. I think we could go up like 4 layers of this. I'm just realizing how much work I have to do now when it comes to making this road. I'm gonna have to redesign this whole thing, which is fine. I would rather take a lot of time and make something that I wanted to from the beginning. Does that even make sense? I would rather take a lot of time in Minecraft making something look the way I wanted it to from the beginning than doing something really quickly and not making it the way that I wanted or envisioned. So that's why this city is so unfinished, is because I wanted to make it when I had like a bunch of inspiration flowing. That way I can make it the way that I originally intended to design it. Because if you're just like making it not intending the way that you do you get what I'm saying? I think I get what I'm saying. Nothing's really coming out, but I think I get it. All I'm trying to say is that you should take time with what you're doing to make it the way that you want, right? What's the point of making something if you're just gonna, you know, rush it and not make it the way that you had originally intended? You know, it just doesn't come out the way that you envisioned it. So then you have to sit there and look at something that you didn't really like. So that's why all of my buildings usually take a very long time to finish, is because I sit there tinkering around and messing around and changing different orientations because I want it to be the way that I had originally envisioned it. I don't want to rush it and turn it into something that, you know, I didn't want in the first place. So, okay, this is the way it needs to go. So I've done it wrong again. So none of this needs to be here. This is how we're going to do this. We're going to do mud bricks in this shape. And then we're going to do terracotta. That's going to be our little accent. And then we do the bricks here. Bricks on the outside like this. And lastly, we finish it off with the granite like that. And that is a much better transition from whatever I had going before with the mangrove wood. That does not work at all. So, that's going to be much better looking, much more of a smooth transition, as you can see. And so then I want to do one in the corner here. I just want to do a little one at the bottom. I don't want to make it very large. I have it all organized in my hotbar of the way that we need to do it. So I'll make this one with you guys here. So this is going to be very easy. So I just want to make like a little splotch right here. So I'm going to do something like, we'll go the terracotta is right, or the mud bricks, sorry, are right here. And then the terracotta comes up like this. So something like that. And then lastly, we only have 4 bricks. So I guess we could do 1, 2, 3, and 4, maybe. We'll have to get some more bricks and we'll finish that eventually. But I think I'm going to do something like that. And so that's going to be a nice way to kind of break up that wall and look like the wall is, you know, worn down, because this is obviously a really old apartment building, right? This isn't a store or anything like that. It's just a simple apartment building where people live. And so I want to make it look like it's been here for a while. I think it would be really cool if we added a water tower on top of it. So the last thing I'm going to do before we move on to something else is I want to finish this window as well, because this window has been unfinished for years and years and years. So I would finally like to just get this out of the way. I wonder, would that be a cool lamp design? Like we do something like putting this thing up there. I'm going to experiment here. I'm going to do a few different designs. All right, so I had another design that was something like, again, very simple. I want it to be very simple so that I don't have to use a lot of resources to make it. And so then I thought about we could actually do that same pattern but with an end rod instead. That would be a little taller. And it would look a little nicer. So we have those 3. But then I also thought about what if we did more of one like steampunk looking kind of ish, like that. That one looks pretty cool as well. And then we could do the same pattern with like an end rod on top. So I just don't know which. I think I like that one the most. That one looks really cool. I don't know how I feel about that. Or what we could do is instead of having the end rod right there, we could just do what we just did, except alternate it. And now we kind of have a combination of both. And I think I like that the most. That is the most street lamp looking thing to me. And I just like the way the end rods look more than the lantern. We could try the lantern as well, actually, now that I think about it. Because we have to remember that end rods are not exactly the easiest thing in the world to get. Just have to get it right. There we go. So that's what that looks like. I think that looks pretty cool as well. We definitely have to place it like this first. And so this is going to be our street lamp design from now on. So we have to go underneath like that. And then we got to place a temporary block because we got to do this. And then we have to place the lantern on top like that. And so that is going to be our first street lamp. And I am just going to start adding those in every now and then. Unfortunately, it might take a little while, but I think I'm going to tear down this bank. This is just a very... I am so much better at building than whatever this is, and I think I could make a much better one. So I'll do it off camera, and one of the main reasons I want to do this is because look at how this road lines up now. It's just really bad, right? That just is unacceptable building standards for me. So I'm definitely going to tear this down and widen this road up because I would love for this road to kind of be a main road as well. I'm going to build something here eventually. That's what I was talking about earlier. So what I'm going to do is actually just grab some cobblestone and I am just going to mark that out. Actually, you know what? It would be better. I'm going to use tough stone bricks for this little guy over here. And so what I think I'm going to do is this is going to be a corner building. So I think I'm going to have some sort of thing over here. I'm not exactly sure, but this guy I think is going to go something like this. See, this is when building becomes difficult, when you have to build diagonally. So I do want to have an alleyway here, but I just don't want it to be very... I think this alleyway is going to be very cramped. That's kind of what I'm picturing. So more of like, I just want to build something that's not that big of a building, but is just there as like a corner piece. So I'm picturing kind of something like that, right? And it's a very skinny building. It'll extend more this way. We'll just map out something very basic like that for now. And that'll be a good baseline, but I was thinking something along those lines, right? And have this be 3 tall as well. All right, so for this alleyway, I was thinking what we could do for the floor pattern is kind of make like this really textured, rundown kind of road-ish. Not really a road, but more like a path. I don't want it to look like this is something that they paved, right? I just want it to kind of be a little crazy looking and all over the place and like they don't really take care of it. And so I'm thinking we could do something like that, right? And so that is going to define, you know, that's where they walk in that back path. And then this is the main road right here. So I really like how this is turning out. That's pretty much what I was envisioning, right? So now what I want to do is add glass over here because we didn't add anything for this building yet. So I'd like to design this building now, which I think maybe a white tent would be cool for these guys down here. All right, so in order to do this properly, oh, this could be interesting. What if we did scaffolding door frames? So what I mean is if we did that over here, I think it suits this place much better because this is like very colorful, right? This is an extremely colorful building over here. And so I think that would look really nice if we do it the right way. And I would love to have some windows down here as well. So I think I'm going to add some of those. Yeah, I think that's a little better. That's more like what I was envisioning for that place. I would like to put something here. I'm just not exactly sure what color would go nicely there. What I'm going to do for this building right here, it's going to be a little unique. We're going to have to go to the nether and get some black stone. That shouldn't be too much of a problem though. But we're going to need some copper trap doors as well. And it's kind of going to be a unique design. There's some things I don't have that I'm going to have to get. So yeah, I guess I'm going to go grab what I need and then I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so I definitely didn't need this much blackstone, but it's a great building block, so I wanted to gather a ton of it. But we just need probably about 2 stacks, and this is going to be... Let's see, we have a couple different options we can do here. I think the bricks are definitely the best, so I'll make a ton of those. Okay, so in order for you to visualize this, I am not going to use the orange copper. I'm going to use the oxidized green version. So I think that is the weathered variant. It's the one right before it turns the greenish blue. And I'm going to cover all of the windows, not all of them, I think only the outside ones, with the copper trapdoors. So just like that, I'm going to sit them in front. And then what I'm going to do is place a jungle trapdoor underneath it like that. And I think this is going to create a really, really cool pattern. I've done this in creative, so I already know how it looks. Obviously, you can see the window connects to it on the inside there, which I think is pretty cool. And then once these fully oxidize over time with the green and the gray is going to look awesome. Just trust me with it. It's going to look so cool. So I am going to do the whole thing, but I wanted to head up here and do the roof while we're up here. So this is going to be so easy. And I think I'm going to have it be flat, actually. I think the roof would look a lot better if it was flat. So, all right. So that was kind of what I was envisioning. So I'm sure you guys can start to get a visual of that now. And the reason I'm doing this is because this just kind of makes it look a little bit more like a real building. They tend to have those kind of borders separating the two. So that's what we've created there. I need to get rid of you guys once and for all. All right, so this is about what we have now. We still need to finish that up there. I would like to add something more in here. I just don't know what. So let me know if you guys have any suggestions. All right, so there's obviously this huge empty space here, which I'm not a fan of. I would like to make this a little bit more detailed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some sort of a light in here, and I think I'm going to put it on this block right here. Oh, that's not. I'm going to add some sort of like a light thing in here to break up this whole piece we have. So I'm going to do the walls and then chains on top and then end rods to finish it off like that. And I was thinking maybe we could put something in here. I don't know. We'll have to see how it looks. If it still looks too empty, we can throw something in there, but I think that's really going to, you see, break up that whole section, which it really needs desperately. All right, so what I'm going to do with this is this will make sense in a second. All right, so they won't place themselves yet until I fill in the actual wall, but I would like for these to be white glass panes. Okay, so this video is kind of all over the place. We're working on multiple projects at once here, but I want this to be like this right here. That's what I meant by these walls were going to be double. And so now this is the hard part, right? How am I going to get this to work? So maybe if we can look at it from the outside here, we could just use full blocks, I guess. Do something like that. I think that's going to work really nicely for that whole area, right? And so now we have that window in there and those windows with the yellow window frame right there. And so that's kind of its own cool little unique design. And I'm just trying to think for like a red building. What would a red building use on the outside for a window frame? I feel like a dark color, like they would probably use dark oak. All right, so I'll have to finish this building another time, but that was kind of what I was imagining. What if we made it flat? Is that better? I just thought to myself, we could also make like windows on the outside here. So since these don't connect to the scaffolding, we can kind of make like the support beam like that. I think that's really cool. So as you just heard me say, I did want to put chains in here. So just like this to, again, make it look like the tents are supported by something. Are those even called tents? I don't know what you would actually call those in real life, the things that overhang from the windows. But that is definitely an improvement on this street. I'm really enjoying working on this city, so we might be here for the next few episodes that I make, because I'm enjoying this whole process of like experimenting with different styles and whatnot. So I'm going to extend this off camera, probably like another 2 layers. I think just another layer would be fine. And I'll experiment with like making something right here. I'm just not exactly sure what color palette I want to use for that yet, but alrighty. So that's building number 4 finished, I think, for today. We did quite a few of them. That would actually be 5 and 6. We did 6 of them today. So that's going to be it for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed. I apologize that I was a little bit out of the loop for the past few days. I didn't upload all that much, but obviously had some stuff to take care of that I went over at the beginning of the video. But this is what we did today, so we'll have to wait for those to oxidize and turn green. But I really like how that came out so far. That's some massive progress on the city. Lots of new buildings, lots of new environments to walk through. Off camera, I will finish this and that right there. And then, of course, I'll take care of this bank, which badly needs to be demolished. But I believe that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for now 4,000 subscribers. What a crazy number to say. And I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. And I think that's about it. I was about to end the video, but I just realized I didn't answer the comment of the day. And this one comes from JR Softy. And he says, one thing I liked about your videos are that they are edited, but not overproduced, which is really refreshing. And what I mean by that is, if you go back and watch all of my videos, the way that things are cut and the way that I speak, you really never want to leave more than a 3-second gap in your talking. So, I usually keep my videos moving, even though they are longer. Like this one, I think is going to be almost 40 minutes long. I just try to keep the video moving, right? So I just keep entertaining things in the video. I don't have to be yelling or anything like that or exciting things to happen. Let me sleep here. I'll continue in a second. Like, as you can see from my videos, I don't really yell or anything like that or am screaming. Sometimes I get scared here and there, but the whole way that my videos are structured, if you're trying to become a YouTuber yourself, or trying to build a channel and have some sort of audience, it's very important to focus on the way that you're talking in your videos. So the way that I speak to you is a little different from how I would normally talk in person, because I have to think about it like I'm talking to a group of people, if that makes sense. So that doesn't mean that I'm not genuine. I'm still genuine with the way that I'm speaking. It's just you kind of have to think of it like public speaking, right? So you have to be a little bit more enthusiastic than you would normally be. I guess the important thing I'm saying, though, is that it's what I choose to keep in my videos that are so important, right? So even though it may seem like my videos aren't all that edited, they actually are quite edited. It does take a long time to make them. So for today, this morning, I recorded for about 4 hours, I think, building all this stuff. And I was able to condense it into 40 minutes of footage. And that's just because I've chosen what's important from that building process and, points of which I was talking a lot, and that's what I've just decided to include in the video. So if you're trying to be a YouTuber yourself, one tip I can give you for making videos is just keep what's important, right? So it doesn't matter if you're talking slow or talking fast, all of that is fine. You just need to keep what is important in the video, because at the end of the day, people choose to watch your videos, and it's very easy for people to get bored, right? So you want to make sure that you're talking a lot, and that not that you're rambling. Like, for example, right now I'm talking a lot, but I'm talking about something that's important to me. I'm talking about something that is relevant to the channel. Obviously, this channel is built on slower paced videos, but the video isn't slow paced, if that makes sense. So even though the video feels like it's slow paced, there is a lot going on because I've been talking the whole time. If you go back throughout this whole video, I would say there's not that many points where I'm not talking for more than 3 seconds. So that's why I like this comment a lot, is because the videos are definitely edited. They're just not overproduced, right? There's no splash text on the screen or crazy cuts or crazy transitions. They're just edited in a way that is easily entertaining, and it keeps the flow of the video going, and there's a lot of information without a lot of fluff. So yeah, I really enjoyed that comment from Softy. I thought that was very nice of him to notice something like that. And yeah, now that is about it. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.